That's 95. I'm right outside of Savannah, Georgia. I see a lot of roadkill in my travels, but I had to come back on foot. See my bike? Because I don't know what this is, or if it's even dead. I think I'm not in Michigan anymore. Thank you for a safe trip. All the people that have been pulling for me and praying for me. It was dangerous, but I'm pretty sure I've made it. Amen. And thanks again. The thought that counts. Loose sand. Can't believe it. I love this Spanish moss. I wonder if when a hurricane comes through, does it tear it all off the trees? I wonder why it's not so prevalent on the pines as it is on the oaks. I wonder all these things. See Wilson over there in the shade. I am at a place way out in the boons. Listen. Can you hear that? I haven't seen a functional one of these in years. I hope they have a beer cave. Thank you, sir. Hi there. No beer cave. 57 miles to the Florida border. I feel unstoppable now. In fact, I don't want to stop. It's noon, it's the hottest part of the day. I still got a hot headwind, but I just got so much emotion behind pedaling. About 1,200 miles I've come, and it has been great, and I just want to keep my legs pumping. Awesome. Just feel like Superman. So grateful for my healthy body and my determined mind. Life is very good.
Trying to show you my legs without showing too much, so.
I rode 53 miles, but I got a sunburn and a windburn because there was a hot wind in my face all day. So I pulled into this park, which is mostly boat launch, and laid in the shade. Laid out my tarp, my mattress, and then I took my blue hand towel, soaked it with water, just kept rubbing it on my sunburned face and legs and arms. I only have 57 miles to go across the Florida state line. There is 57 miles to go to make it to Jacksonville Airport. I'm not sure which. But this is a really interesting park because they got manatees in that water. Not that I've seen one. And every once in a while a whale comes up. Okay, so that also means it's brackish water, part salt water, at least part. So that's no place to get water to filter. I just threw away my trash. Stopped by a grocery store and I had their deli special of fried chicken. Now what I'm doing is I scope the place. Behind that fence up there and palm tree, it should be hidden. If it's pouring rain, I shouldn't have any problem. You can see this place isn't heavily patrolled. There's beer cans laying around and we really don't do much maintenance. And so here comes people at the boat launch. They're going to be busy thinking about that. I don't see any no camping signs. And that might mean that it's okay to stay overnight because people go out night fishing. So the boat launch here, it's kind of like a parking ride. I don't know. I don't want to get in any trouble, but I also don't want that storm approaching. The wind is coming this way now. And it's supposed to be 80% chance of thunder showers. So I got up from my little nap on my air mattress and recollected my energy because I am exhausted from the farthest I ever went on my bicycle. Well, I'm hoping this is the last struggle of this trip. Trying to beat the thunderstorm, trying to rig this tarp. It's been a hard thing to do it under pressure. As quick as I can, having to adjust ropes, tie off to whatever I can tie off. You see I sacrificed Wilson. He's laying out there holding the rope for me. I've got no cover at all, but I don't think anyone cares. I think this is going to be a real gully washer. I've taken all my valuables that can't get wet, except for my radio, but everything else is in a new plastic bag. Same with my backpack full of clothing. The worst that can happen is I get soaked. I'm sure not going to freeze, as I said. Alright, we'll see how it goes. Man, I'm rolling sweat again. Well, good, it's already cooling off. And luckily I bought new trash bags. So I just put my stuff, like my whole backpack is right in there in a new trash bag. My saddlebags are in that one. My electronics Or in the one underneath the blue. See, I don't have enough ropes. And I used my trailer to hook a rope to the front of it so I could expand the tarp and hold it down. Same with Wilson there. I think I fried my face too. But I was so enthusiastic. It was flat roads, and even though I had a hot wind in my face, I just thought I can do this, I can get this done, I can get out of this oppressive, muggy, hot heat by taking a couple of days, or actually it's been 2 weeks, and just toughing it out. And that's what's happened. I'm going to end the trip and make my goal. I'll probably cross the state line tomorrow or the next day, and that's great. And then I'll get on the plane. I'll say goodbye to Wilson in the trailer. I'm going to give him away because I've worn him out. That's why I'm not getting soaked right now, covering them up so the cables don't rust or anything. I'm just too tired, and I don't want to be soaking wet and then get in my hammock all wet. So sorry, Wilson. I'm sure he'll love to retire after all the bushes I pushed him into and how hard I rode him. By far, Wilson was the most overworked of any of the bikes I've owned. Definitely. That's saying a lot. I'm low on water. I'll let the tarp get washed off a little. Typically the wind from a thunderstorm comes first, and then it gets steady and you can catch some water. I'll do that in the new plastic bag, see what happens. But after the dust of the mud gets washed off and the wind calms down, so it's an easier thing to catch the water. My camp is all exposed, but I got a good reason. And it doesn't say no camping, and I'm sure if any patrol came by, they would be sympathetic to my plight and appreciate my cleverness, I betcha. Anyway, that's my story. Alright, my tarp setup is holding. And there's this fascinating thing happening over here. I am at the edge of a swamp. And so I'm not familiar with this environment, and what I see is little crab claws sticking out of these little tunnels. See if I'll zoom in on one. All over the place. I'm glad I'm in a hammock. I wonder if they crawl on me at night. They're moving around, see? Why he's moving like that. Probably thinking if it rains real hard, I'm going to get flooded out. What am I going to do? I wonder if they're good to eat. I get them? Maybe. Mosquitoes are bad. I'm almost out of repellent. I'm harvesting the water by putting containers on the drip line. I'm happy with the tarp I set up. Now that the wind has died down, it's gonna work. That was really tough. It's 5 a.m. I had to get up to pee, and I was getting eaten alive all night by mosquitoes and no-see-ums, and just laying there with a towel over my face as much as I could breathe so that the backs of my hands didn't get bit. And then
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. I got a giant welt, even though I had the last of the bug spray on my face, and behind my ears and stuff. You hear incoming, and then you don't know where it is. It was just awful. Just so itchy, and I just got nailed a bunch of times. I'd drift off to sleep, and then the bite would wake me up. I got Neosporin, I put some on. I got bit here. I got bit here and here, on my chin. Oh, it was just awful. Just awful. There were so many mosquitoes, an unlimited supply. And then the no-see-ums, which I'm not familiar with. But you can't see them, they don't make any noise, it's just you feel the bite. So, but my camp is very concealed, I didn't know this. You can see the fence there and the light. To the right of that there's a bush. And to the right of that is another bush. And the telephone pole going up. My hammock and tarp and everything. Now I've got the bike with me, but that's where it is, and unless you go there and see it, it's hard to see. So it was a stealth camp I had to make that wasn't very stealthy at all, but I couldn't push on. And it seems like no cops came by. Like I said, this isn't a very well maintained facility. And they have to keep it open all night in case somebody launches their boat and stays out later. Launches their boat before dawn. You can't say, okay, it was curfew. Oh, that was a tough camp. Just because of all the bugs. It's just too close to the jungle. And I'm up because I had to get away from it. There's no wind there either, and I want to break camp and get out of here. But I got to get my head together because there's a whole bunch of bugs swarming all over my camp, and it's dark. I can't see where they're coming from, coming at me. What a terrible night. It was really, really bad, my friends. I'm just so itchy and uncomfortable. There it is. They just keep bouncing off of me. I've got bug spray on. Still. Sweet victory. There's another. Okay. So there's nothing left for me to do except go break camp. Thankfully it's starting to get light, and then I'll be pedaling along that road south. 78 miles to Jacksonville International Airport, 56 miles to the Georgia-Florida state line. And I am just eaten up with bugs. That's awful. That's really awful. And I got to go back where I'm camped. And well, you just saw two of them lighting on me right now. They're biting through my clothes. So I'm going to quit whining and get the job done. And by the time I'm packed, it should be light enough to ride. miserable. Miserable. I got bit a bunch of times. Oh, awful. Goodbye camp. That was the worst. That was the worst. Definitely. Eaten alive. It's like giving blood. Oh. Giving blood is easier. They give you cookies afterwards. The repair I made to my rear fender with the with the zip tie has failed. And you'll probably hear a little rattling so I can get away from these mosquitoes. Pull over and fix it. I feel a breeze. You know the mosquitoes can't catch me anymore. I'm trying to knock them off my shirt. There we go. Goodbye, camp. That was a tough one. I got welts all over me.